Good afternoon, my friends. Brian with VetteSource back today, where we're going to work on our 1996 Aqua LT4 car and start the process of getting into these windows that I've talked about for a while that are completely misaligned. You can kind of see if you're looking here. We've got damage on the paint from this window being adjusted incorrectly, and on this other side, this window, once it's rolled up, won't even come down. So we actually have two different problems here that are going on with this car, which one of them probably is a misadjustment of the window or the misalignment, and this other one here on this side is going to be something broke inside of there. Now I'll show you as we get in the car here what we're working with. And you can see here, if I go all the way up on my window, see how that comes up, and you can actually hear. So we definitely need to fix that. See how it's actually tilting back? So it's definitely not in good shape. Now, of course, in this one over here, it's going up way too far. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go ahead and take these door panels off. I'm gonna show you the process. Now, the 94 through 96 door panels are actually different than the other iterations of the C4s. It's actually three different versions. You've got 84 through 89, and even in the 84 through 89, you've got a little bit of difference, not in the bottom part of the panel, but the upper part. The header on the convertibles is different than the coupes. So you got to make sure you're getting the right panel. Now, you can't take that header off, but just something to notice if you're buying used panels. And then you've also got the 90 through 93 panels. Look very similar to this, but they got more angular edges to them and pull handles and things like that. And these do not. The 94 through 96s are unique to these cars. And the interesting thing about these panels is they're not mirror images of each other. So this does not look exactly like that. And honestly, if you look at it, it's kind of a neat feature design perspective. They did this so that it would flow into the dash. See how the gray matches that lower level of that kick panel there? And it does the same thing on this side. I've got the panel removed, but it flows into that gray and then the black. So every one of your late C4s, 94 through 96, regardless of your interior color, is going to have that black inset on each panel that's kind of an extension, if you will, of the dashboard. But what I'm going to show today is removal of these these door panels. Now, I've done a video before on the 91 through 93s, and they're not terribly hard. They're a little bit different, but I'll link that in the description above. Not description below, but in above there'll be a link to that if you've never seen it. Let me see if I can get this correct. Hold on. All right, we got that correct. So these panels are not overly difficult to take out, but they're different the way they're put in than all the other panels, simply because they went from the screws at the bottom, retaining screws, to these push pins, which actually have been fairly common in GM vehicles. I think even back in the 70s they had them. Let me see if my one pick is there yet. So there's really only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, one hidden screw, and then the door panel comes completely off. And the other thing you want to remember too is when you're digging around in here, there's quite a few electrical connections that are made. So you want to go ahead and disconnect the battery like I just did to get those out of there. Now, normally I would use my plastic tool removal wedge to get these out, but I couldn't find it. It was escaping me. I may have broken it and thrown it away. Now, one reason probably that they put these push pin panels in here versus the screws is the screws on these had a tendency to rust and corrode, and you couldn't get them out. So you can see there, that's what that looks like, that push pin panel. So we're gonna take that out. Without breaking, because they do get fragile, being as old as they are. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. And these will be color coded to whatever color interior you have, and there's 5. All right. There's gonna be 2 more screws right here in this insert, which is also next to our very cool hidden map pocket that I've also detailed before in another video. If you haven't seen that one, I'll link that one as well. Let's see here, I'll swap out my screwdriver bits. And these just come straight out, no real pressure or torque. And like I said, these are right in your grab handle when you go to close the door. They're very visible, they're not hidden. And in a minute I'm going to show you the one hidden bolt that throws everybody off, and they end up sometimes breaking the inner structure of the panel. So you see, once I pull those out, that piece lifts up from the back, comes down, and then I can access my wiring harness. Okay, so we're just gonna gently, again, we're looking at 28-year-old. Oh man, this car is 29 years old this year, because this one was built in August of '95. This was one of our first month of production cars, since the Aquas were discontinued very early in '96. That's why there are only 60 of these Aqua Metallic LT4s in existence. So gently pull that out. Gently. Famous last words here. Come on. There we go. Alright, you see the whole piece is intact in one piece. Now, it's not supposed to separate right here. These will get old and break, and if it's 2 pieces when it comes out, it's broken. Just so you understand, alright? So, one more screw right here behind the door handle. Don't lose that, Brian. And the hidden screw that always throws everybody off. Here's your lock slider right here. Pull it out completely. Take a pick or something similar. Pull up, out. There is your other screw hidden right there. I have no idea why they decided to hide that back there, but it is amusing. Because unless you're looking for it or you have the service manual, you're not going to find it. And then you'll break it right off. Let me see here. The head of my bolt, my screwdriver. There we go. So pull that last one out. And then you can gently, again, so you don't gall the surfaces of the panel, work this one out of here. Oh, you know what, guys? I may be forgetting. You can pull this out of the way too, and yes, I forgot, there's 2 hidden screws. There's one up here top. Thank goodness I was paying attention. So there are a total of 3 screws on this one small panel here. Alright, now what we can do here is pull this out of the way, pull that down, pull the door panel out, or the door handle out, and what you got to do is slide it times. There we go. All right. Now on the back side here, we've got, put that screw in there. Shouldn't lose it. We got this one here. And again, be gentle with these, because even when you're gentle, sometimes they won't come out of there. Okay, that's out. You can leave that there for the moment. Now, the rest of the process is simply just to pick up and out, and that's it. Now these panels have a really bad problem of, oh, one more. The hatch release, the rear hatch release is right here. We're just going to take that off. These panels have a really bad problem with age. These are basically tension supports that allow it to fit over there and have tension. And you can see as they age, they get old and they're cracked right there. If you can see those cracks that develop. Now these aren't that bad on this door, but I may go ahead and take some Gorilla Glue and some straps and see if I can glue these back together a little bit to get some more tension on there, because that upper part of that panel is loose. But just as an aside, if you got a floppy loose door panel at the top, this is going to be your problem right here. These have separated. Okay, all right, let's just set up. Now again, getting to this inside of this door structure is kind of a multi-layer process. We got to peel back layers on this. So what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to go and show you removal of the other door panel, and the next video we'll go ahead and take apart this inner structure so we can get to the inside and start assessing this loose glass and see what's going on with it. Okay, so stand by for a minute and I'll get back to the other side to get the other door panel out. Hold on. All right, let's go and get this next one off here, passenger side, which will be very similar to our other ones. One, our driver's side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And our last hidden screw, I don't really think these have the hidden. I think that was 90 through 93. I'm misremembering. Actually, let me go and do this. We're gonna pull this out simply because we're already here, so I can remember and hopefully not break it. This is also a pressure fit. That's amusing. I just had this out just a second ago. There we go. All right. Okay. Yes, this one, the 94 to 96 do not have that. Of course, this has to be kind of removed regardless wherever you're at. So let's go ahead and take this panel off real quick. We're just making sure we're still recording, since even though GoPros take incredible videos, they're less reliable than I actually like. And I can see water found its way back in here again, simply because this door and that glass is not where it needs to be. So we're gonna fix that, and then we're gonna go ahead and take this car to my off-site location, and we're gonna continue to work on our few things engine-wise that we need to take care of in this car. Of course, the screws are right down here, like I mentioned. Now, for those of you that have not seen this car before or are new to the channel, this is our higher mileage 1996 Aqua Metallic LT4 right around, and I say higher mileage, but honestly it's not that bad. It's 135,000 miles, and it was used as a daily driver for a while. The gentleman that I purchased this car from worked long distance from where his home was, and his other daily driver broke, and you know, like everybody, he had to adapt and use what he had at his disposal. So he used his Corvette, and this is a very early production C4 for 19 for the last year production. This was a August of '96 car, and it was built, I think, in the second week. I may be off. I have to look at my notes again on this car, but it's got a few interesting features on it that the later ones don't have, simply because in '96 that was the end of the assembly, the end of the C4 era. So as the cars were going through, if they ran out of components, honestly, that were not what they considered essential, they just went ahead and didn't order them again. Would put, I think what they call it now is order constraints on them. So this car, by '96, Aqua Metallic had already been out for a few years, and for whatever reason, oh, this one's covered with a piece of felt. That's right. The slider. So not that many of these Aqua Metallic cars were ordered, which is unusual because this is actually a pretty nice color. But from the perspective of, you know what's funny is I'm forgetting that, guys. This side does not have that retaining screw behind the slider. That's interesting, I forgot that. Alright, so the Aqua cars were more of a particular desirability as far as colors go. So you didn't see people ordering these, or dealers ordering these, as much as, say, the brighter colors, you know. There we go. Alright, so I can take that out all the way. And on the back side here, let me see if I can get this panel out so I can show you guys. It's not gonna work for me today. It's not gonna cooperate. And I don't want to force this, simply because I don't want, there it goes. There we go. I just didn't want to break it. Alright, let's just pull this piece off here. This is for our door lock button. And again, make sure you got your power, because if you start fiddling around in here, you'll short the ground or the power on that, and then you'll be left potentially with investigating something broken in your fuse box. Now this switch here is kind of a hassle. For as small of a switch as it is, it's actually got two different connectors on it. Let's see if I can get these. There's one. Alright. There's two. And since the 96s do not have the hatch release on the passenger side, we don't have to worry about that. So then that just comes straight out through there. Which is interesting. I've never bothered to look at the electrical manual side of this, but this has power feeding in and out. So it's actually got 6 wires for just an up and down window switch. So see how bad our panel looks on the back side here. Honestly, wow, that, well, no, there it is. This one cracked higher up. Most of the time they crack on the seams right there, but this one cracked higher, so you can see that as I flex it, it comes out further. So I'll play with this panel as well. And of course there's the back side of that, and the hinge on that secret door panel, map pocket there, which many people go through their entire time owning their C4, their 94 through 96, and never realize that's in there. So that's off. Now that's gonna wrap it up today. Other than that, we're gonna carefully next time, we're gonna take out this vapor barrier, and what that does, exposes inside. And see, I can tell already somebody's been into this door already, because this has non-traditional, non-OEM fasteners in it. I can see them right there, and where they actually punched into these in a different spot than they were supposed to. So next time, next video, we'll go ahead and get into that. I appreciate you guys watching all the way through, and if you got questions or comments, by all means leave them in the comment section below. If you got suggestions for another video, by all means let me know. I'm using these C4s as teaching tools, and of course I've got lots of C3s we can use as well. But if you got a particular question, just ask below in the comments and we'll get to them then. But catch you guys next time. Have a good week. Thanks.